Welcome to Fortune Cookies. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. And in this video, we are going to do Mixtape Monday Tarot. This is where you guys get to ask all the questions that you want to know about pop culture, crazy political stuff, and of course, celebrities. So thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. My digital academy is open. You can find a link to that in my bio and the description of this video. And I'm also available for private readings. You can find that link here too. So let's get started. I am going to go through some of the questions that are in my chats on all my other videos. So if you have some questions that you want me to cover in next week, comment down below. I'll go back and I will answer as many as I can. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to pull up that card view. We're doing this super fast today, so I'm a little bit late on the Mixed Tape Monday. So let's get over and we are going to have some fun today. So first question, what is James Holt thinking in regard to the Archwell story? So this is dipping into Harry and Meghan news. So I am going to see what we have here. James Holt, what does he think about the Duchess Difficult Dictator in High Heels? And what else did they call her? They called her something else, but we got a whole bunch of names for her. We're keeping it family friendly here. So I hope you're having a great Monday so far. Let's do this. James Holt, what do you think about this dictator in high heels? He's of two minds with it. Why is he of two minds with it? Because he thinks that the transformation, that shift that she had to make from being what he considered a spoiled celebrity into a royal, the transformation was complicated for her. So in the past, he really knew that she was someone of very little substance. He recognized that right away. What is under the surface here? Yeah, he kind of saw this one coming. Strength in reverse. He is having a hard time holding his tongue. I think we will hear from him eventually with that King of Wands here. I think we may get a story or two when the time is right. Not right now, but when the time is right. But he actually had her pegged as someone that they needed to do a lot of PR for, because there wasn't really a lot of substance there. So we're looking at that. Under here, he just really didn't think it was going to fly. He wasn't going to fetch, wasn't going to happen. Up top with that strength in reverse, he's having a hard time holding his tongue. I think he's talking in private quarters. So what is he going to do past, present, future? I think we're going to hear from him, but let's clarify a little bit. Past, he wanted to move on from the situation, not really do anything. Present, he is not. He's disarmed. He is not going to do anything. But in the future, we are going to see him talk about his experience. I think when the time is right, again, we're going to see that. And I'm using the mystical medleys today. Hope you guys are enjoying this so far. And we're right back at it. We have another question. This is in response to the Mayor Adams video that I did yesterday. Would you ask the cards if this is happening to Mayor Adams because he criticized the Biden administration about the illegals pouring through the open border that we're supposed to forget about now? He was in Washington to discuss the issue and got called back that the FBI was raiding his office and another city official's office. So was this retribution? Was it retribution? We're going to do 3 cards on this. I touched on it in my other video, but let's throw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Yes. So when we get this 2 of Wands, we always want to think about we're going in a couple of different directions. Our goals and desires and experiences are going to go in different directions. So he was pulling away from the pack, so to speak, or pulling away from certain members of the pack that he should have stayed with. So over here, we have Temperance. They were biding their time. They wanted to see what he did. So I think the trip to Washington, was the catalyst for this. And they're going to bring down that long arm of justice on him. I think that the deck is stacked against Mayor Adams. I think he's going to have some tricky times with this. Are we ever going to see the revelation of the retribution that's been thrown down on him? Past, present, future. I think it's pretty obvious when we get this sun card that, we all kind of see it. We're watching it happen. It's like, the whole business with the border, people are watching people literally run across the border and everyone's going, don't look over there. That's not really important, not really important. I do think we're going to see that happen. In the past, there were mechanisms in place that were getting ready, sharpening their swords, saying, if you do this, we're going to do this. So, we do get to see that come to light. Are all of the secrets going to be kept? Absolutely not. The high priestess, she's our secret keeper. She is going to present all of that information. So I think we're going to see this come out as corruption. Does that help him? I don't know. I don't know if that actually helps Mayor Adams or if he's just kind of SOL and on his own. Seriously, like when the government starts getting involved in your business, sometimes we have a little bit of trouble. And all right, so let's do this. Good morning, Gregopedia.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Harold's getting me.
We're doing Mixtape Tarot. We're answering questions. So if you have any questions about celebrities and pop culture and politics, you can fire them off, Greg. You're VIP. Huh?
I can.
You can, just not at the moment.
Oh.
So Diddy and Soho House, is there any connections? 14 years ago, he was big pimpin', and surely Meghan Markle crossed his path someplace. She would have been in her mid-20s then. How about Oprah? And Jesus, any video on Harry? There's a lot of questions in here from my favorite Humanaki. Humanaki, I hope you're doing well over there. Humanaki, right? It's fun to sing. So I had to pull over my anti-fatigue board. It's a little rocking board. It's awesome. So Soho House and Diddy. Same team, Farva? Name that movie.
What movie, meow?
Are you going to answer right now?
Right now?
Meow.
I was like, cat to you?
Am I eating mice? You're giving it away. When I drop movie lines, I want people to guess in the comments. So, okay. Is there a connection between Diddy and Soho House? I think an attempted connection, but there was something that it didn't fit the criteria. So, I think it was perhaps they did not want an element in there. I'm not specifying what that element was, but I think there was the hip hop element, I think, was a bit much for Soho House. It kind of got in the way of the, mahogany and leather bound books. So it just wasn't the yes. So it just wasn't the kind of situation that they would like. It just wasn't what they would like. And they said, it's okay because you guys have, the hip hop community has rehab at the Hard Rock and those kinds of locations. It's just, we really just can't figure out how to make that work with our aesthetic and our clientele, so to speak, but perhaps we'll work together in the future. So does that mean that Diddy ever had any connection with Soho House, ever was a guest or hosted by them? I do think that he kind of tried it on for size. I think it may have been a bit too tame for him as well in terms of the party atmosphere. I think the party atmosphere was decidedly different it wasn't loud music and cavorting and bikinis and, blunts, bikinis and blunts. I think it was more gin and tonics, old fashions, Manhattans, and cigars, and just everyone kind of behaving and putting on the veneer of fancy, and having a more controlled veneer, if you will. So I don't think that there was any connection, but I do think that there was discussion of possibly bringing an element of the Diddy-ness into the Soho House catalog, if you will. So has Diddy ever crossed paths with Meghan Markle? Let's take a look at that one. What do you think, Greg? Think Diddy's ever hung out with Meghan Markle?
Oh, yeah.
Tower crashing in reverse. Success under the surface, unbridled. Judgment card in the past. Wheel of Fortune. So I am going to say that I do think that their paths have crossed. I think that there has been some exposure to each other. Was it the kind of exposure that Meghan Markle wanted? I don't think it was. I think it was not her crowd. Again, she is more of a Soho kind of gal. She was looking for, vintage Morgans, not pimped out Lamborghinis, Lambos. She wanted something more. She wanted to connect with the old money and not the hip hop money. That was a community that just didn't appeal to her. So old Hollywood, old money, old New England money, that kind of stuff, old political families was more her speed. I think she did try it on for size. The whole business with Ashley Cole, she didn't know anything about English football, and she wanted to jump into that relationship and kind of be indispensable in that relationship. Was she going to fit into that WAG world? I don't think so. I don't think she would have fit in it at all. I think she would have liked the money. The money is a good fit, but I don't think that the speed is a good fit. She wanted to be so in that the Diddy community. Let's call it the Diddy community. You're prized on being beautiful and fun, versus what she wanted to be was gloriously beautiful and incredibly smart, insanely smart. She said she was insanely smart.
Graceful.
Beautiful, graceful, ballerina Barbie. By the way, I've been shopping for a lot of vintage Christmas presents for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't purchased any, but there's a whole bunch of vintage games that I want, like Weeble Wobbles. So
They don't fall down.
They don't, but I want the haunted house, but it's really expensive because it's limited. But I had one and I loved it. So I think this just wasn't the kind of environment that she wanted to be in. It wasn't an environment that she was able to control her marks. I'm going to say that. So, it just would have been a really difficult way. It really, the altruism is on the part of the female in her dynamic if she was to jump into that that Diddy world. And I think she was too old by the time their paths crossed. I don't think she was a palatable or marketable asset for him to acquire. Wow. Did I say that? I said that. I said it. I said it out loud. All right. So there we go. Now we are going to talk about Oprah. I'm not sure. Oprah and Diddy, they absolutely have crossed paths. I'm going to skip that question, Humanaki. I love you, but I'm going to skip that one because I'm not sure what you meant. You can clarify it in this video if you'd like.
Oprah Cunningham?
What's that?
Oprah Cunningham?
Oprah Cunningham. So are there any videos of Harry? Now, I actually talked about this on Dueling Tarot with Alicia Wicker. If you're not subscribed to Alicia Wicker, go on over there and subscribe. You want to buy amazing crystals like this? Go to her website, AliciaWicker.com, and you can get some.
Sleeve stack.
What's that?
Unless you're a sleeve stack, you cannot buy the crystals.
Oh, the crystals?
Crystal.
They can't have
They
crystals?
cannot have crystals.
Okay. Slee stacks cannot have crystals.
You live under LA.
I love LA. All right. So, is there any video on Harry? Now, I have an opinion on this. I think that there is video, but I don't think it's as damaging as other videos will be for people. I don't think that he is in the act of anything other than partying. So, are there any videos of Harry? This is yes, there are some that are going to be tricky. So what's the content there? 9 of Pentacles, happy squirrel in reverse. That is an excessive imbibing kind of energy here, that happy squirrel in reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles, I think this really was him throwing himself around, not behaving in a princely fashion. We get this 9 of Pentacles is not behaving as dictated by etiquette or society. So he wasn't doing that. The happy squirrel is happy to excess. So this is probably a little bit of liquid courage, a little bit of smoky courage, a little bit of powder courage, whatever it was. So he was pumping himself full of whatever was on the table, whatever was on the buffet. And over here, not caring for that legacy of being a prince. You know, even though this is in the upright, it was nurturing and cultivating the party prince personality. That's really what we've got here. So do we ever get to see this videotape? Does it ever come out? Queen of Wands in reverse, that's a maybe. 3 of Cups, that's again partying to excess. 5 of Wands, lots of people in the room. King of Cups, him demonstrating affection and love and not doing the right things at the right time, being extraordinarily reckless. Do we ever get to see this video? King of Wands is going to stop it. So that will probably be squashed by CK3. So KC3, not CK3. Just thinking about Calvin Klein. So Burnt Butterfly complimenting me on my new space. And in regard to Harry, I don't believe he isn't in with the family at all. He was too involved in their secret society. Sure, there's another agenda. Saw Charles joke they'd get the U.S. back when Harry becomes president. Burnt Butterfly also said, have you ever looked into the Romanovs? Burnt Butterfly, I was a history minor, and my concentration was pre- and post-revolutionary Russia. I am a huge fan of the Russian imperial family. I know more about the career of the Tsar and his family and their terrible demise than anyone would care to know. Right, Greg?
Yes.
Greg hears a lot about it. So
all information that I know, which is extensive about the Romanovs, has been involuntarily.
Romanov, not Romanov. Romanov is a noodle. Romanov is the Russian royal family, imperial family. They were an imperial family. So yes, I have looked at the Romanovs. So I did a reading on Nicholas during a Father's Day series that I did. So let's see. Is Harry still talking to the family? Is he still locked into the family? So let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. That secret society always gets in the way. I'm going to disagree. I think that they have him. I think he is iced down right now. I don't think that they really are in discussion with him. I think everything that they do with him is extremely professional. I do think that they avoid him quite a bit. I think the phone calls are not answered on the reg. I just think that's it. I think there's like a 3-day wait before he gets a response from anything.
Papu.
It's Papu. So those of you that have not watched Chaos on Netflix, I know a lot of people gave up their Netflix. Jeff Goldblum, Chaos, Kaos. It is one of the most clever series that I've ever seen. Greg and I are both. Are we on the rewatch? Or you want to rewatch?
No, I didn't really rewatch.
Oh,
I have pretty good memory.
okay. Well, whatever.
Right.
You don't enjoy it on the rewatch?
Not really.
So at one point they have Jeff Goldblum calling up his family, and he's like, "Athena, it's Papu, isn't it? Is it Papu?" He's leaving messages for everyone. It's very, very funny.
None of the gods are answering it.
None of the gods are answering the phone, so he's up there by himself. So it's a very, very cool series. Takes a minute to get into it, but here I think the anxiety is building because of the two separate paths that Harry and the royal family are on right now. I think we see that, and I see the Three of Wands not having any support, not being held in by the structures that were in place, even though they were suffocating and confining. With that Eight of Swords in reverse, Three of Pentacles, is it repairable? Yes. This is also an elevation card. So when we get the Three of Pentacles, the picture in the traditional Rider-Waite is the master craftsman, the apprentice, and the client. So we do see this collaborative work in the future. It is possible. They have to let him, his ass has to be out in the wind for a little while. That's really the best way for them to manage the behavior of this runaway royal. So do we have contact now? Under the surface, Two of Cups in reverse? Absolutely not. Star in the future, in the mindset, in the future, yes, we possibly do have some conversations going on in the future. We maybe have some reconnection with the royal family. What are the rules and regulations? What kind of hoops does he have to jump through to get to that? Wouldn't be an oop if it didn't have an hole in it. Oh, wire. Empress, Chariot, moving away from his mother. That is interesting. Bend the knee. We got to bend the knee. He has to give up his. Whew, this is rough. So what is the pathway back to the royal family? Understand that you are inherently a nasty pants person with that sad squirrel there. Nasty pants person. Not coping with his emotions, not coping with any of the good stuff in his life. He has to walk away from the storyline of his mother. He has to leave this in the past. And I think that not only is this a good PR move for him, but it's a good emotional move for him. He's far too reliant on being miserable because he lost his mother. We got to get rid of that. We got to leave that in the past. That's absolutely something that needs to go. He needs to give up the kingdom. We see that reflected here as well. He needs to bend the knee. He needs to release his kingdom, not that he really has one, and he needs to bend the knee and work collaboratively with them. That is the only way that they're going to do this. He has to reveal lots of things about this hoodwinking with the mother stuff. I have my own opinions about how the mother situation was exacerbated with him. I just think that, it was a storyline that was practiced and rehearsed and kind of shoved back down on him. And he really did have to, it kind of was a brainwashing tactic. Okay, I've got requests from Persnickety about Natanya Rubin. Also, that's from the J-Lo and Diddy incident at the nightclub in 1999. But I'm going to wait because there's a few women in the orbit of the Diddy situation that I'm going to do some longer videos on. Here's another one. Topad W. Nunda? What a crazy, that's a crazy name. This subscriber said, or this person said, if Henry was anything like his mother, he would have never done the interview with Oprah. Diana rejected Oprah's interview requests, saying she was only after sensationalism. So let's pull that apart. True? Did Diana reject because she knew that Oprah would dramatize everything, past, present, future, or far in the past, far, a little bit less in the past and then closer to the end. So there were other elements that Diana, Princess of Wales, wanted to develop. Other individuals in the industry. So I don't think that she wanted to lean into this particular American journalist, because let's face it, Oprah was a journalist when she started out. It was far too much needed to be revealed in those interviews. And I think she recognized that with the other interviews that Oprah did. So she decided to work with others. The exclusive could not be given to Oprah. And I think that's where our sticking point was. How did Oprah respond to that? Oprah. Oprah. How did Oprah respond to that? Not too happy. And you're dead to me, maybe one day you're going to need me and you'll come back, baby, come back. So I do think she was upset. And how do you get angry at one of the largest celebrities in the world at the time? You really can't. You have to keep that behind closed doors. So she was angry, and then kind of bided her time to see if she could get that interview eventually. Temperance, ultimately, we all know Oprah was super upset about not getting that interview. Queen of Swords in reverse. So we know that. So did Harry understand that? Did he understand his mother's resistance to Oprah? Did he know about that? Three of Wands. He thought it was going to set him apart and it was going to establish a new relationship. Oprah was like kind of the mommy, the American mommy that he was looking for. He was really leaning into that. He was not seeing her for the journalist that she was. He was looking at her as the character that she presents. So was it Meghan who pushed for the Oprah connection? I think we know it was. Yep. Oprah wanted that connection. Queen of Cups didn't care. That was going to be an opportunity to lay bare all of the juicy, awful bits of emotion that he had. So, did Meghan understand that it was going to be sensational and it was going to exploit the feelings of Harry, the emotions of Harry? Absolutely. She was like, go, Paul, let's go. Let's make it happen. So very interesting. Very interesting. So I am scrolling through again, guys. So, oh, my cat videos. Thank you for your comment. Thanks everybody for your comments. I'm thanking you in the response things. I'm not interested in politics, but even though I'm a medical student, I'm a numbers person, and the percentage of Putin being taken off this earth plane by someone is high. Also, China is not interested in a third world war right now. Neither is India. Putin is insane, crazy, nuts, and it will take a toll on him. Let's take a look at that. So, do we have a lot of people that are looking to take Putin out of his place and put him someplace else? So we're gonna put a little bit finer of a point on this. Are there elements within Russia that would like to unseat Putin? Eight of Swords. They're kind of stuck with him. This is kind of stuck with him. I think they're waiting to see what the American election happens. So psychically, I'm getting this. The pause. They don't want to make any moves because they want to see if someone else is going to manage that issue for them. Five of Swords. A lot of discussion about this. A lot of conversation.
Want somebody else to start their orange?
They want somebody else to start their orange. Four of Wands in the past. One of the things that they're remembering is the disruption in Russia from the revolutions that they had at the turn of last century, near the turn of last century. So the disruptions within the country, things are not terrible in Russia right now. If you are in Russia and you're watching this video and you disagree, please let me know. I don't have any assets or connections in Russia, boots on the ground at the moment. I am not in contact with Putin or any of his people. So,
Not that you know of.
not that I know
We are
of.
in contact with you.
I need kill suit. So, not very happy with the way that things were. Let's put it that way. Don't want to go back to this. Very high-minded. The control of Russia, and again, I'm talking about political assets in Russia right now. The control that has been taken over the country of Russia is good at this moment. They have things under control. Things are not careening like they are here in the US, quite frankly. So let's see what's in the ultimate future. Three of Cups. This is celebration. So does that mean mission accomplished? No. That means we work with the issues that we have at hand. We work with the leadership we have at hand. How do they see themselves? There is some dissension. How do they see him? They do see him as not in control of his emotions. The hope is that he's going to maintain his emotions. But we do get this excitement, this wheel of fortune spinning, spinning, spinning in the reverse. So if this is our immediate outcome, we're just going to, keep the status quo and see what happens when we get this world election that happens. The U.S. election, which is going to change some things in a couple of different directions. So that I think any objective with him is on hold at the moment. How does he feel or know about this? Again, we're talking about the enemy within Russia. How does he feel about it? Why are my hands so dry? The moon, I see all. He is quite frank about the dissension in his ranks. It really is an attitude. If you don't like the way things are, you can go. You can bugger off. So that kind of dismissing. You don't have to be Russian. You can go be American. You can go be French or Italian or whatever you want. You can go do that. Here, Russia is safe for Russians. We are making this a grand country for all of our people. If you don't want to be a part of that, you don't have to. So, any kind of dissension is going to be met with fire and what was the term? Rain, fire, and shock and awe. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Huh?
Idiom?
Idiom, fire and brimstone. Not fire and brimstone, but he will rain down all that he has. He will destroy the people that are against him. Either you are supportive and with him or you're not. It's very, very simple equation here for Putin. I think it's a very pragmatic look about you either support the government and the leadership that's in place or you don't. So is that insane? Let me see. Psychically, he has a lot of walls around himself. He has walls upon walls upon walls with barbed wire and razor wire and all kinds of crazy things. So, is he crazy? Is he nerada? So I don't think that he is crazy. I'm sorry. I have to say that on my cat videos. I don't think that he's crazy. I think he is calculating, and I think he is there's like no holds barred here. Like he will do what he needs to do to maintain power and to maintain order. So maintaining order in Russia is really how he wants to keep this. If he has to create an illusion of instability to garner more control. We did see that there was a bombing in an apartment building early on in his career. And it was blamed on some terrorists and blah, 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 blah. That's not something that is out of his playbook. So again, Putin's Playbook, amazing book. It's on Audible. You can go get it. I could link it in the comments. Putin's Playbook, amazing book. I gave it to I'm still listening to it, but I gave my hard copy to my father, and he has now passed it on to my brother-in-law. So one of my brother-in-laws. So whole family is reading it. Very interesting book. So gives you a perspective of the Russian mindset and the Putin mindset. Very, very cool book written by a Russian asset here that worked in the United States government. So amazing lady there. So no, I don't think he's crazy, but I think he does not have he's extremely calculating about how he's going to maintain this control over his country and over the lands that he has. So China, are they interested in a third world war? Are they going to throw a hat in the ring? What is the Chinese hat called, Greg? The little round one. You have the one with the ponytail.
I don't know what that's called.
You don't know what it's called.
I don't know. I'm not Chinese.
I know you're not, but you have the costume. That's why I'm asking. Not Chinese.
I had Chinese yesterday, though.
I made Chinese last night.
And ribs. Almost ribs. Clean.
So King of Wands, Queen of Wands, both in reverse. No, they are not thinking about blowing anything up. However, they are looking to carve out. So I do think that Taiwan's the one they have their eyes on, right? I keep wanting to say Singapore. It's not Singapore.
No, it's Taiwan.
So I do think that Taiwan is clearly in their sights, but they will carve it out by traditional means, but not nuclear, like boots on the ground, people invading. Conventional means. Even though it's not fair. They'll go in there and they'll take advantage of a moment in time. They are looking at the rise of the rising sun, part 2. They're looking at that. They really do want to do that.
Rising sun is Japan.
Oh, is it? It is Land of the Rising Sun. I'm sorry. Apologies to you and all your ancestors.
Like a reformation of the dynasty.
The reformation of the dynasty? Yeah, putting the dynasty.
No, they don't want a dynasty.
So those of you that are new, my husband is half Japanese. I had to apologize to him and all of his ancestors for mixing up.
Well, just half.
I said you were half Japanese.
Yeah, not all my ancestors, just half.
All your Japanese ancestors.
Yeah, the Scottish ones, I don't care.
I don't think the Scottish ones care either. So
Give a crap.
This is not Scottish, it's crap.
Not Scottish, it's crap.
So yes, I've got my son's father is Scottish and my half Japanese husband is half Scottish. The other half of him is Scottish. So
my cousin will say it's mostly
Irish. My family says that too. So how does everyone see China? China is seen as an enigma, hiding a lot, a lot of secretive behavior, not really showing their hand. Maybe we will want to get into a war. Maybe we won't. It's very murky in terms of that. So no one wants to, poke that bear. I know Russia is the bear. China's the what? The dragon?
Yes.
Okay.
The red dragon.
The red dragon. So no one wants to poke that red dragon. Ultimately, do you see? Ultimately, we do have the sun card, which is curious, which is glory. So by doing the conventional means to get into Taiwan, we do see some glory. So I think that there's going to be some success in that. I think the rest of the world's going to be distracted by other things that are going on. I don't think that, we really, I don't think we need to let our guard down at this point and be distracted by the election and all that stuff, even though we're terrifically distracted by the election. So, and so Jennifer, 11 days ago, responded to my Assassin series on Donald J. Trump. So in that, we were talking about, I think, just Trump in general. I can't remember. So a lot of readers, including my friend Debbie on Tarot and Pause, she's one of my students. She's amazing. A lot of different readers, apparently, according to Jennifer, are seeing him not with us or withdrawing for medical reasons before the election. Jennifer has seen 3 readings that have showed medically he has an issue at the moment that he's trying to control with medication, maybe related to his heart. I've seen things going on with his heart too, so I'm going to agree with that. I am hoping he will be okay. Harris is dangerous, extremely left-wing nut, in my opinion. So, Jennifer, thank you so much. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the corpus trumpus, meaning his whole body. So, we're looking at his head. Let's go to head. No, we're not talking about that. 2 of Cups, head. This is emotional chaos and strain and stress. Running this campaign, having bullets flying by him, I can't imagine that we would expect this to be anything different. What can he do to correct that? Needs to let the dance out. That's a line from The Men Who Stare at Goats, which is a movie about the program we had for remote viewing. So here in the United States, funny movie with George Clooney and Jeff Bridges. I love Jeff Bridges. So the dude. So he needs to let the dance out on this and kind of let people know. I think we need to see that emotional moment, but it won't happen until after the election. The emotional moment of how this can put a toll on someone. So that is our head. Let's see what our throat is doing. Throat, he's good to go. He's got everything he needs to say, but sometimes he says too much. We saw that in the debate when he went down the eating the cats and dogs path, even though now we're seeing some evidence that wildlife has been poached and has been eaten by some of the immigrants in that area. So let's get into the heart zone. Heart zone, yes. We're taking pills. There is possibly something that needs to be done in terms of an apparatus, or my father just got a pacemaker. My father-in-law just got a pacemaker. Some apparatus that needs to be done there. The heart feels heavy. It feels, I don't want to say it's enlarged, but it feels like it's doing a lot. It's shouldering a lot of responsibility. But here, I do think that this is medication. So I think we're controlling whatever issue that is with medication. Let's look at lungs. Lungs are good. Lungs are great. Oh my God, lungs are like his lungs. They're huge. The tremendous. The lungiest lungs that you've ever seen. So.
You can't get any more lungs.
You can't get any more lungish than that. So the oxygen, that's doing well, which is great to hear after, we all went through the seasons of COVID. I just had a cold and my lungs don't feel normal after it. They don't. So we're going to look at bowel. Sorry, guys. Belly and bowel. Start with the belly. So, this is something he does like rich foods that don't agree with him. They're an indulgence. I don't want to say it's like, he's not like running out to, get a sundae from Stone Cold Creamery.
That's the bottom line.
From Cold Stone Creamery or anything like that. But he does need to address that. He needs to really kind of make it a once every other month thing and not like a once a month thing or once a week thing. Bowel.
They're the most tremendous bowels you'll ever see.
I do think that they're tremendous bowels, but I do think that we have the potential to have some issues here, like polyps or something like that. They go in colonoscopy, they pop them off. It's no big deal. But that's something that he can't neglect as well. The bowel, the belly and the bowel go together. So let's look at bones. The bones of former President Trump. The bones. So the bones have taken on a little bit of a weaker structure. I mean, the guy's almost 80, so you have to kind of expect that. Easily correctable with more strength training. Does he have time to do more strength training at the moment? I don't think so. Perhaps if he gets reelected, he will. If he doesn't get reelected, he's certainly going to have some more time. So there we go. Let's look at skin. It puts the lotion on its skin. Skin, that's another one. Possibly some little bits that need to come off from being out in the sun on the golf course, that kind of thing. Nothing that we need to worry about, but critical because he didn't put sunscreen on when he was younger. I did not either. I would go, surfing first thing in the morning and it would still be kind of shady out, not quite dawn yet. Which is fun. But I'd be out there, for a few hours, not putting sunscreen on. I'd be running around at the beach, not putting sunscreen on. Was not a big fan of sunscreen, just wasn't something I did. Too busy having fun. And now I have all this sun damage on my face from it. Hence I have to wear a lot of makeup all the time. Not a lot, but I wear makeup most days. This is something, it's like, just cut that out, little mows every now and then, not a bad thing. So not the end of the world. Nothing is really going to affect them. So yeah, I do think that there is potentially a heart thing going on. Now, do we make it to the election? Does our medical situation create a pocket of time where we get out of the election? Do we make it to the election? Yes, we make it to the election. Happy card. Let's just leave it at that. We're not going to see any effective attacks on him. Let's put it that way. So this is all good stuff. And I have one from Lazy Daisy, which is such a cute name, Lazy Daisy. So I think Trump went a Lazy Daisy. I think Trump wins, but inaugural will be delayed by Democrat lawfare, assuming office. So let's take a look at that. So I used to do a what if Wednesday. So we're going to do a what if in the Monday mixed tape Monday tarot. So what if Trump wins? Are we going to see the inauguration delayed by lawfare? What if Trump wins? Two of Swords. We're going to see chaos. We're going to not chaos, but we're going to see some drama and people trying to start new things. They're going to try and say that the election was faulty, that we weren't supposed to do it. A do-over. Everyone's going to be asking for a mulligan, especially Kamala. Kamala is going to be asking for a mulligan. They're going to be saying, we didn't do it. The transition is not going to be a peaceful transition. So for all the complaining they did about J6, this is going to be another episode of that. They're going to try and recreate that drama that was purported from J6. So we're going to see it. That Knight of Swords is alarming because that is one of two things. This is potentially, with the Five of Pentacles and this Knight of Swords, this is potentially kicking people out of Washington, saying, you get a train ticket out of town, you get a train ticket out of town, you get a train ticket out of town. And I think that this is something that is going to be very problematic for Captain Trump. It's going to be problematic, but it is something that needs to be done. We need draining the swamp. I know that was his term, but really does need to be done. We need to get all of that out of there. So, do we see this? Do we see him eliminating individuals so that we have a cleaner leadership in Washington? It's going to be complicated. But again, this is a what if he wins. If he wins, are we going to see them come after him? Yes, absolutely. I think they're going to say it wasn't wasn't a clean election, wasn't a clean win. And if he does win, I think he's going to try and get those elements out of there. They will certainly try to prevent the peaceful transition of power. So who's going to be at the helm of that? Is that going to be Nancy Pelosi? Or is it going to be Kamala Harris? Who is it going to be? And Kamala doesn't have a lateral list, but Nancy sometimes does. So I think I am going to wrap this up for this one. So, boys and girls, thank you so much for being here on Mixtape Monday. I am going to load this video up as quickly as I can because usually I do these on Sunday, but I was meal prepping for my darling family all day and finding out that our electric cat box is not fixable and my dishwasher is not fixable. All of the machines are breaking, but this isn't. My computer, my cameras, my lights, this is still working. So say a prayer for me. I don't know what's going on in my world, but my electronics are giving me a hard time. So I have a new cat box on the way, and Gregopedia and I are discussing what kind of solution we can have. This is our, how many dishwashers have we had, Greg, in this house?
It'll be our second.
Is it only the second? Well, no, this is the third because we had the one here when we bought the house, and that was crap. And then we replaced it with the Bosch. That was crap. And this Whirlpool.
We never had a Bosch.
We did.
No, we had a Samsung.
We had a Samsung. Why do we have a Bosch manual?
I have no idea.
There's a phantom Bosch dishwasher somewhere in my life. But at any rate, so I will keep you guys posted on the dishwasher situation. But thank you so much for spending this time with me. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. I've had an amazing subscriber bloom, but I'm still seeing that one subscriber disappear every hour, which is so disappointing. I talked to YouTube about it. There is a certain algorithm that goes with it, but I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.